What's up nail friends? In today's video I'm going to be doing a color change on this Grinch set. This Grinch set is up on my YouTube channel. Isn't it sad to file off hand painted art? Ugh, so sad. Anyways, this set is done a while ago. I just only got ready to edit now. So I did this video in real time. I haven't done one in a while. And I just cut out as much as I could of like nothing being done on the screen. So it is a real-time tutorial and I know a lot of people are interested in that. So here I'm using a carbide bit. I'm pretty sure I got this one specifically on Amazon. I'll try to link it into my storefront and my Amazon is in my description box. So I'm just filing down thin and that's what we're going to do on all of these nails. I also am going to clip those crystals off and file down the same way I am on this nail. So just taking a nail file here and just reshaping my point to make sure they're nice and sharp. She likes them really sharp. So after I've filed down a bit, this is what they're looking like so far. So now I'm going to go in and do some prep work around the cuticle area. So I'm just using this tool. I got this one from Luminary. I really like this one because it kind of helps lift up the cuticle area a little bit better. So I just gently push the skin back, try to lift it up, and then I'm going to turn this tool around and scrape up the skin. You can see that skin right there that's not attached. That's a lot of cuticle skin that needs to go. If you tried to apply on that, it would just lift right off immediately. So this all has to be removed. So now I'm going to turn my tool around and use the back of it to scrape. This will just help when I go in with my e-file bits. And this doesn't hurt at all. We're being really gentle. We're just going back and forth in a jiggly motion to scrape that up. So the bit I'm using here is from Get Buff Nails. I really like their bit kits. And you can see all that coming up. So I'm just using this to go around carefully to remove what's on the nail plate. Gentle and careful. This is a really nice safety bit. It doesn't hurt. You can't really cut your client with this. It's very gentle. Then when I'm done going one way, I actually reverse my e-file and go down the other way. And I'm just trying to push this skin out of the way so I can see what is still on the nail to be removed. So I'm going to zoom in a little here. You guys can see I'm going to go do the opposite down this way. So we're not pressing down. You don't want to create any rings of fire. You're really just using this to get the skin that's on the nail plate. After that, I filed as much off of color as I could, but this set is just going to be a neon set. And this is what they look like before dehydrator and primer. So I've applied my dehydrator and my primer, and now I'm going in and using a small, thin, clear bead to create my base. My base is so that when she comes back, I can file down to my base, and it's a little bit easier than trying to file acrylic color off. Because I'm going to be using colorful stuff. And even if she was to come back for a removal, it just makes it easier. And yeah, so I'm just applying this clear a little bit further back and then using the tip of my brush to kind of push it. I'm wiping a lot off. You want this to be really thin because I'm using colored acrylic, and you can end up making the nails really bulky if you're not careful with the clear base. You want it to be really thin like that. Okay, so now we're going in with color. So she wanted these nails, like I said, very colorful. So I'm going in with a purple. It's kind of a shimmery purple. It's really pretty here. Applying that down along the line, and then I'm just pushing to the side so I get full coverage, and then I'm just dragging this down. Shimmery colors are super easy to work with. So I'm kind of using the belly of my brush to pull it down, and then I'm kind of like painting it on, and then I'm just wiping the sides. And then I'm just going to fix right there. I accidentally pulled a little bit off, just patting that into place, and then swiping the sides. So that's what that one looked like. And then in the middle finger here, we're going to go in with pink. So again, I'm using a shimmery color. Easy to work with. This one's a nice bright pink. Applying it along the line, pushing up the sides to start. This is going to be covered with glitter as well, so it doesn't have to be completely perfect. Again, I'm just patting and pulling this down the nail. And you can see those shimmery colors are super pigmented, so you really, a little goes a long way, and you can kind of just pull them down to paint them on exactly where you want them, nice and thin. Then I'm just patting that tip into place, swiping the sides. And the thumb I did blue, so I'll show you guys that as well. So again, it's going to be a shimmery blue, applying where I want it. Again, shimmery colors are really forgiving and easy to work with. They dry slower, it seems like. You can kind of place it on the nail and then work with it. You don't have to like worry about getting it done quick. I'm just using the tip of my brush to kind of feather that up, wiping off my brush, and then pulling this down, painting it on so it's nice and thin. Now we're going to use a glitter. This glitter is so pretty. It's kind of like got white and iridescent and silver mixed in. So I'm applying this on the nail, pushing up towards the cuticle area. That's what I worry about first, is my cuticle area. And then I'm just gently feathering this over that other color to get a nice little bit of fade. You're not going to see any of the leftover white. It should be hidden underneath all that glitter. Super glittery. And you can see how slow and careful I'm applying. I'm not rushing. Applying that down. I'm going to zoom in a bit for you guys to see. I'm using my finger to help me with this. You can see my one finger on my one hand. I'm using for support. I'm pushing that towards the cuticle area, wiping off my brush, making sure there's not too much liquid in my brush. And then I'm just gently pulling that down the nail, trying to get that little bit of glitter fade. I also did the same thing on the thumb, but went ahead and skipped because it's exactly the same. So now on the other two nails that I didn't do a solid color and glitter fade, I am doing a 3 or 4 color fade. I don't remember. I'll show you guys. So first I'm using this really pretty orangey coral shimmer color, applying that just on the tip. So I'm going to do this on the two nails here. And then we're going to go in next with a bright pink, the one that matches the middle finger here. Applying it along, spreading it, and then I'm gently feathering that down, so like with quick swiping motions. So the reason I go back and forth between the nails is to let it dry slightly, so that when you are applying your next color, you're not wiping off the past color. Now I'm flipping upside down my brush and sweeping that upward. So this one is a little bit dry, so now when I apply this down and swipe it into the bottom color, I'm not going to be removing any of that orange. It's just dry enough that I'm not going to remove anything, but still movable. So I can go like this and kind of fix the bottom there. And then I'm flipping my brush, gently fading up. Okay, so this is a 4 color fade. So now I'm applying that purple I used on the pinky along the line of the pink. And like I said, it's a little dry. So now we can go in and swipe that down into the pink, fading it together. And then swipe up to fade upward. And then pat and pull everything how you want it. So I'm showing that again, gently fading that down, wiping my brush off after each stroke, so don't accidentally get too much purple into the pink. We want this to be a nice fade. And then we're going to go in with a blue. So I'm applying that down. I'm going to work this up around the cuticle area. Get as close as I can, push to the sides, get into my sidewalls, wipe my brush, clean off my brush, make sure my brush is nice and clean, and then do my swiping motion down. And if you accidentally make any mistakes here, you can always just go back, because like I said, these shimmery colors are super, super thin and easy to work with. So you're not going to add too much bulk if you apply on top. So see, I just added a little bit more pink and faded that. I'm going to do the same on this finger. Applying my blue. Sorry, it went a little blurry in sometimes, but you still can see what I'm doing. Apply close to the cuticle area. I'm using my brush to push towards the cuticle area, and then fading down. And then I'm going to add some more purple because I accidentally added too much blue right in one spot there. So add more purple, dabbing that into place, wiping off my brush, and then trying to fade that down. This doesn't have to be perfect either because we are also covering this with glitter. So now I grab the same glitter. Oh no, wait, I used a different glitter. I used a solid glitter for this nail because I did want more of the color to show through, so I just wanted the glitter on top. So it's just a see-through glitter. I apply that down at the cuticle area and then fading that down. So I started at the tip, got it how I wanted it, and then applied glitter. So you can see adding thin layers of each color that you want doesn't add too much bulk, and we're still going to be able to encapsulate the set and add an apex. So I'm applying this glitter down. So this glitter I added in with the chunky glitter for the other nails, but only wanted solid glitter on these nails. She's also going to have crystals fading down on this nail too, but I'll show you guys that at the end. So I applied that down, patted and pulled it into place, and now we can work around the cuticle area, get that where we want it, and then again fade this down the nail into the other half of the nail. And here's how they look before they've been encapsulated. So now we're going to go ahead and encapsulate everything in clear. So I'm applying at the cuticle area, pushing up towards the cuticle area, again using my fingers and my pinky for support, dabbing that where I need it to go around the cuticle area, and then I'm going to pull this down the nail. Try to get full coverage of encapsulation so that when we file, we don't file into our color, and we want to create an apex for strength. I'm just pulling this down. And then turning to the side to double check if my apex is enough. Then I'll move on to the next nail. So after I've done that, I will go back, double check all my nails, and if I have to add any more product, I will. I'm going to use as much clear that I need, so I'm not always trying to strive for a 1 or 2 bead method. On longer nails like this, I apply at the tip first, trying to get my tip nice and full and even, just so that you don't want to file, you don't want to have your tip too thin when you're doing stilettos, because then it will snap when your client bonks the nail. So you want to make sure that the tip has enough product on it as well. So I'm going at the cuticle area here, spreading that out, using my brush to pat that into place, and then pulling that down into the bottom, patting and pulling. And then I'm going to fix the tip, make sure it is even, has enough product on it. Double checking my apex where it would be. And then I'm just really patting that tip to make sure that the product is where it needs to be. And I have full coverage on that tip. After I've encapsulated, here is how everything looks. Now we can go ahead and file. So I'm using the same carbide bit I used at the beginning, but I'm using it on a lower speed and way less pressure just to file down the nails. Just debulking the nails more like, not file down like we did at the beginning. So just gentle strokes to file any bulk before we go in with our hand file. So going around the cuticle area with this, filing up at the tip, like underneath, to make sure it comes straight out from the sidewalls. Going around to thin around the nail everywhere, and then keep my bulk where my apex is. Then I'm flipping her hand over, and this is one of my favorite things to do, is to clean underneath the nail and bring up the product so that her nails don't slope downwards. And I'm cleaning her natural nail out from underneath. So you can see this nail has a lot of her natural nail. We're not trying to grow her natural nails with these acrylics, so we can file this away. Nothing will get stuck under there. You can see, you can file also some of the old color that was left behind, so it's a little bit cleaner under there and makes the nails straighter. So now I'm going in with my hand file to finish off and refine everything. So I debulked, cleaned underneath, and now we're going to hand file. I'm going around the cuticle area, doing the tip, making sure they're super, super pointy and sharp. Keep my apex in place while cleaning up and smoothing everything with the hand file. After hand filing everything, I do go over with a buffing block and then dust everything off and then cleanse, and then we can do our crystals. So I think I sped this part up because it's kind of slow to watch someone apply like one crystal at a time. So I'm going in with the Ugly Duckling Stick It. Do you guys know what that is? It's like a gem gel, and it's really, really thick and makes it easier. Like your your crystals will stay for a really long time. So I apply that around the cuticle area to start, and then I'm using all these different colored crystals to match the nails kind of, and just like to kind of go with the nails. So I'm using like a blue, green, pink, clear, just trying to fill in and make the nails really, really, really sparkly. I use all different sizes, like bigger ones and then littler ones, and then I fill in the gaps with the tiny crystals. And yeah, this is something she really loves. We call this like a waterfall crystal. A crystal look. She always requests this because it's just really pretty, and yeah, it's really sparkly. So that's what we're doing. Oh, the fun thing about the Ugly Duckling Stick It is you can kind of push the crystals into it and then move them around a little bit, and they only you can cure them into place. So whenever you're ready to cure them. So I haven't cured them yet. I just kind of placed them where I wanted them. And then here for the waterfall look of the gems kind of fading down the nail, I'm using nail glue. So I'm only using the Ugly Duckling for the bigger crystals at the cuticle area. See, I'm using like all different sizes, and they look really pretty. And then I'm going to use a cool flash care light that's really small. I got it from Ugly Duckling as well, and it charges, and it's just like on its own. I used to use one that was really, really big from Amazon that was great as well, but this one's nice and small and great for flash carrying, so it's only for flash carrying. I'll show you guys that in a couple minutes here. And again, you see me applying my my glue down, and then I always apply kind of smaller crystals fading down here. I like the way that looks the most. And you can see, like, when I did that 4-color fade, now everything blends really nicely together. So I'm applying more of Ugly Duckling, applying more crystals where I need them and want them. When I'm happy with that, I go and I flash cure before doing a full cure. Oh, and move your Ugly Duckling out of the way so you don't accidentally cure your pot. After everything has been cured, I'm going to go ahead and top coat everything. So I'm going to apply top coat on the nails without crystals first. So I am using, you can see in the corner here, I'm using my Ugly Duckling top coat. It's really shiny. I really like this one. They also have a really nice matte top coat. So I'm applying this on the nail and the sides, making sure I'm getting everything covered. And then I will cure that quickly, just a flash cure. And then I'm going to go in and do my crystal nails. So I'm applying this, pushing up towards the crystals, the crystal like chunk that I did. Then I'm taking a palette here with some gel on it and a small art brush to go in and around the crystals as well, so that they last as long as possible, because you don't want to lose your crystals. So there's that, and then I'm going to do that again, pushing up, going around these other crystals. Try not to get too much product on the crystals, but I mean, you're gonna get them on those ones. Then I'm gonna use my small art brush to go around again and fill in and make sure I don't miss any spots. So after that, I apply my cuticle oil and massage it in, and then I have my client wash their hands before going in and taking my photos. Look how shiny and sparkly and bright these are. I love them. She loved them. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. What would you like to see next? Make sure you like, subscribe, and click the bell next to it to be notified when I post. And I will see you next time. Bye.